About our auditory system, I do not have the official figure, but I dare to say that the auditory range is about 16 to 18 Hz onwards, that is to say, with just a bit more sensitive hearing range than the average human. Our eyesight is more sensitive in the dark than humans. We see significantly more towards infrared and ultraviolet. We distinguish two more colors, but they are perceived in isolation in a very understandable way. That is, more infrared that is perceived as red, and more ultraviolet that is also perceived as violet, only as barely visible. In addition to the phenomenon that we can sometimes perceive objects that emit heat in the dark, it is seen as a weaker red area in the dark night. As a related note, being able to perceive this extra small amount of color or range of visual ability with a slightly greater range of visible light causes the colors to all change slightly as they are known to you. Not completely, but it does change its tone or tint, because all colors have components of the rest of the visible light range, therefore chemically changes what is perceived. That is, we see the same colors as humans, but they change a bit. As more colorful, with greater detail, they are more exaggerated, very intense. This has been described by people who have been extracted being one of the first impressions that they have once already here. It is an overload of the senses. Everything looks very sharp and with defined and strong colors. They describe it as if things look more real here than on Earth. The factor that causes greater visibility in the dark is a great number of rods and greater sensitivity of the same, which is a consequence of what I described for the previous video, of a greater capacity for nerve transmission. As a curious fact, we also wear glasses. In fact, at this moment, I wear anti-radiation glasses. We wear sunglasses only to be able to see when something dazzles, such as when the pilots, for example, must see what they do. We do not wear sunglasses for the purpose of protecting ourselves from sunlight, as we do not accept human theories that the sun is harmful, much less for the eyes. According to our medicine, the eyes need to be exposed to sunlight, but I am not talking about looking directly at the sun, but about being in the sun, seeing, without glasses. At first, we thought that it was something only from the Taygetean sun, which is softer than this one here, believing then that perhaps protection against this sun was needed, since it is stronger, a significant 15% stronger than Taygetean. But after research, we see that it does not matter. You do not need to hide from the sun. Everything in excess is bad, that's true, but in a natural way, without thinking whether or not it's too much, it is healthy and necessary. Even so, taking prolonged sunbaths or being working outside constantly exposed does produce the logical burns that are not good, but that is already an excess. The anti-radiation glasses I'm using now are very much like yours, only without the yellow tint. They are made of transparent crystalline material that has a structure designed exactly to repel waves, or most of the radiation waves that digital displays emit. In other words, it is not a filter on the lens that prevents radiation, but the shape of the molecular matrix that makes up the glass of the lenses itself. They are designed by ourselves to neutralize most radiation frequencies from screens. But not all of us use them. We do resent our time online because screens affect us. It also affects the simple fact of focusing on bright things and very closely for many hours. Another important fact about vision is that due to the higher neuronal speed, we perceive more photograms per second. Therefore, things that happen very quickly to human eye are visible to us. This can affect when watching a YouTube video, for example, since apparently it would be thought that it could be a problem, and it is true that we do see things slowly sometimes, and it is irritating. However, the brain tends to automatically compensate by creating a continuity, where either you can perceive that some videos look a bit slow, or just take for granted as this is how YouTube works and forget about the problem. It is something constant to see or perceive small jumps on the videos, or that some scenes do not flow at all, but on the other hand, it is not something that always happens. These extra photograms per second could be reflected, for example, in the ease of following the flight of an insect. Yasuhi, on the other hand, can follow the path of a bullet, as in the Matrix. The rest of us cannot. But Yasuhi can because she slows down time with her mind. It's not just her eyes. Our retina is also a little different. The normal range of focus for a human person is about 25 centimeters at front. We can focus at 10 centimeters in front of our face. After this time working online with these displays, I see a distinct decrease in my visual ability compared to other people here who don't spend time in front of a digital screen. I personally can no longer focus at that distance. Concerning the capacity of focusing in the distance, I would say we have the same as humans, perhaps with sharper detail in the distance. In the distance, I continue to see the same as other people here. It is my close-up vision that has been affected. In these cases, lenses can be used as a temporary measure, but it is usually corrected with medical technology. I don't know how it works exactly, but it is a very strong magnetic field imposition that corrects the geometry of the eye, or with the already famous multipurpose medical pod. As for the sense of taste, I have no comment that could suggest that with a difference to humans. But in itself, it is quite logical to accept that all our senses are more sensitive. For example, the sense of touch. We have here as normal something that you know as hyperdactyly. That is, we have so many nerve endings in our fingers that we can feel on a paper where it is written in print or where it is not. In pencil or pen, it would be easier. On Earth, there are rumors of people who can read with their fingers, and I do not mean Braille, but we do not come to that here. Our organs, such as the heart, lungs, and sexual organs, are up to 20 to 30% larger, in higher bone density. I mean that the bones are denser or stronger. We can take more falls or bumps than humans. This is also logical because it goes hand in hand with a muscular system that develops more torque or strength and needs strong bones to anchor, or the same muscles could cause fractures. Also, our gastric system is different, with secretory enzymes for the digestion of vegetables and a digestive system longer than the human, which also brings its dose of related problems. For example, if we ate meat like many people on Earth do, we would not be able to digest it very well. Although with time, in the end, it could. This is not surprising, since we know that some species of planktivorous do eat meat sometimes, but at first it would make us sick. So, our bodies are more adapted to the vegan diet than humans on average. Our small intestine is longer, creating problems, for example, with consuming too much fiber. Our intestines become clogged and we get constipated. As for differences in the immune system, I have no comments. If there is any difference, I have not noticed it, but I feel that if there were, I would already know it because I study medicine in my spare time with Senetre. We suffer from fever just like humans when we have a strong infection. Only here we do not see the fever as a cause of an invading microorganism, but as a decompensation in the body and energy balance, which has caused a group of opportunistic microorganisms to take advantage of it. Unlike on Earth, infection is treated if it occurs, but more importantly, the cause of the decompensation that caused the problem in the first place must be discovered. On the other hand, our cell regeneration is much greater. We heal 3 to 5 times faster. In Yasgi's case, she heals about 20 times faster. When she suffered her accident with the brambles plant, her scratches the next day were almost gone, and those that required bandages and almost stitches, in a week they had disappeared and without leaving scars. That is, more than 4 times faster than the rest of us here. Senetre has an eye on Yasgi to study her, but she resists, saying that she is not a guinea pig. All Taygetans are blood group O positive. That is, we do not have complications due to the same blood group as happens on Earth. I am O positive, logically, but Yasgi is A positive, clearly not Taygetan, although related. Our blood group is related to that of the Earth, but not because it is exclusive to Taygeta, but because all the Lyrian races are connected and related. On Earth, there are such a variety of different blood groups due to a large number of Lyrian variants incarnated there, among other races. The Rh negative, for example, are different because those bodies are coded or influenced to be concordant with other races with Rh negative, among them reptilian. But not all are reptilian. Not because someone is Rh negative, it means that they are reptilians, but reptiles all have Rh negative. That's why royalty on Earth is at least mostly Rh negative, but there are also many Taygetan starseeds with this blood type. But it strikes me that a very large number, the vast majority of the people we have contacted or is in contact with us today is Rh negative. I don't understand why, but it may be due to a greater affinity towards the stellar. But the rest is a control construct. This is important because in many places it is being said that starseeds are Rh negative, as if Rh positive were not, as if Rh negative were synonymous with extraterrestrial. This leaves out most of the starseeds on the planet. It also promotes separation and it has nothing to do with it. So, being Rh negative is not synonymous with being a starseed, since no one can tell you what you are. It is something that is known, it is felt, it is carried within. In short, the Rh has nothing to do with what you are inside. We have reports from our contacts who know many Rh negative who could not be more matrix and close-minded. Rh negative is not synonymous with being enlightened. This blood type is special because they are few compared to Rh positive, but not for being superior. It's just different and not connected completely or directly to a specific star race, except for a greater affinity for the reptilian. But it is also important to know that there are many reptile races that are very loving and positive. And again, just because you are Rh negative does not mean that you are reptilian in any way. You can be of any race. And how do you know? You tell me. It is something that is inside. your desire, your affinity, your illusion that it comes out true. Your RH does not define who you are. You and only you define who you are.